So Arsenal won, Norwich City 0. Kenny Ken, you was at the game. You're standing behind a legend of this football club. What would he have made of that today?
You know what? He would have said, you know what, a win's a win, and you've got to start somewhere. I think he'll be turning his grave if he looked at, you know, our first few games of the season. He would be extremely stressed and disappointed if he looked at us last season. But you know what? I think what we need today, we needed some new fresh faces. We got them. You know, Thomas Sayu, bit of a surprise. Didn't expect him to start. You know, but Tierney, you know, like he had a bit of a break. You know, centre half pairing. We've been waiting for Ben White and Gabriel Magalhaes. So you know that was a good to see. And also, you know, midfield it was nice to see Maitland-Niles play there. Maitland-Niles played midfield. So you know, Maitland-Niles and Lokonga. That was a very good, like I said, lineup. And then you know, we've been saying on our podcast that you know Smith Rowe and Odegaard can't play together. So again, for me, that was another you know decent decision. But again, can we break teams down? That's got to be the biggest worry. It's a lack of creativity. You know, we do the right things. We won the battle on the midfield. Norwich came for the point. You know, we've tried everything. And I thought Norwich, up until the time that we scored, looked a bit comfortable for me. You know what I mean? I don't know what you thought about it when you watched it.
Yeah, I agree. I think first half, Aubameyang had a great chance. Ironically, from an Odegaard pass, he took it out the air, did everything right. First touch was brilliant, but the finish was lacking. Other than that, we didn't really have a great deal in it. We had loads of corners, but they were poor corners.
Well, see, that's the thing. You know, like you know, the personnel's right. It's just the confidence, really. We just haven't got confidence. We don't know how to break teams down. I don't know why this has happened and how it's happened, but breaking these teams down at this level has been a massive problem since Mikel's come to the football club, and no one could deny that. People will say, "Oh, you're anti-Mikel." I'm not. I'm just talking about what I see, and I think that when we had Unai in the team, we had when Mesut turned up, we had Mesut, we had Mkhitaryan, we had Iwobi, you know, and we had Aubameyang, like I said, on fire. But this season, Aubameyang just lacks a lot of confidence. And I think him getting a goal today is a very scrappy effort. But the Aubameyang involved would have scored about 3 or 4 today, easy, because you know there was an avenue where Odegaard, you know, Lokonga, and of course Magalhaes were putting balls over the top, and you know Hanley and you know Nigerian Irish guy. I'm going to say Ogulubeme.
I'm glad you said it.
Ogulubeme was playing on that shoulder, and he was getting in. But again, it's a lack of confidence, right? Lack of confidence. But you look at Saka as well. You know, when we scored and we were able to stretch on it, that's when Saka and Pepe came to the game. And I think that's going to have to happen with baby steps. But you know, because we're bottom of the table, I think we're still bottom of the table. I don't know. I think actually Norwich bottom.
Yeah, we've gone 16.
Because we're in a position where we don't want to play. You've got to be. It's kind of football's equivalent of need to know basis, and one game at a time. And I think that's what we've got to look at. But was it equality? I don't think so.
And right towards the end of the game as well. I don't know if you see it. I know you were probably right down in that corner actually, where you sit, where Ben White did his best Granit Xhaka impression of just letting the ball go past him against like when Xhaka did it against Wolves. Do you remember? Ben White did it in the penalty box in stoppage time, and Timo Pukki nearly scored. And I was
that's like, that's one thing I didn't like. I thought there were times when we were standing off Norwich and allowing them to put crosses in, allowing errants, especially when we went to goal down, and when they brought Cantwell on as well for a bit of creativity as well. That's what I thought. You know, it was the Arsenal of old. But I think, you know, you've got to take what you can get, because I thought Norwich, in terms of like quality, they only had Pukki up front, and you know, there are times when we surrounded him, we got bodies around him, but again, it was solid, but it wasn't really convincing. It was a case of like, because you've been playing so bad, you'll take anything that comes your way. I think, performance-wise, is it an out of the woods performance? Not a chance. They'll still, you know, up front, Aubameyang a little bit sharp, but you know he's finishing not of the standard of 2 or 3 years ago. Midfield, bit of solidity, but not the creativity I like. I thought Odegaard was probably too deep, and I think when Emil came on, I thought we looked a bit sharper. We looked like we had a bit of edge to our game, and it kind of got, you know, Pepe more into the game, and it got Saka in the game. But, you know, Arteta, Mikel is not out of the woods. Seriously, he's not out of the woods, because there's a lot of work, you know, to be done in terms of, like, you know, getting that team to gel. Right back, Thomas Sayu, you know, did all right. You know, like I said, he defensively didn't really have much to do. But in terms of, like, trying to get forward, he tried to get forward. He had a chance in the first half. Kieran Tierney, you know, still didn't look too clever. You know what I mean? It didn't look. Yeah, heard a chat to mate. That's all right, mate. Kieran Tierney didn't look too clever, but, you know, it was. I thought that, you know, he didn't really get much testing from, because it was just Aaron who was coming down that right hand side. So really,
who did you think?
A scrappy win is what the doctors ordered.
Who did you think was our player, man of the match today? Because,
well, you know, I was very impressed.
Kind of ummed between Tomiyasu and Lokonga. Yeah.
Well, I thought Lokonga like was very, very solid. It gives us a lot of energy. I thought Ben White, you know, apart from the, you know, like the what do I call it, the Willie Young moment. He let the ball bounce, but I thought he kept the defence together, and he kept some sort of organisation in like around proceedings. So I was very happy with him. You know, Maitland-Niles gave us solidity, and I think, you know, why the hell is Maitland-Niles not getting any sort of games for his club? He comes in, we look a bit solid in midfield. Yes, not exactly the most creative, but he did try to pass the ball forward, and then he went on the right back, and he looks at home there. So he was very solid as well. Odegaard did all right, but for me, I think my man of the match would be Sambi as well, because Sambi just gives us a lot different. All right, son, you all right, mate? You good, yeah? So yeah.
Getting the love at the ground, Kenny. Yeah, I love it.
You know what? You know, on a serious level, right? I've been just getting hugs and love all the ground. Outside the ground, I was getting hugs. On the way to the ground, I'm getting hugs. Half time, getting hugs, and outside, getting hugs. You know, like, our show's very, very popular. A lot of people watch your show, despite what people say about you, Lee. You know, I've had people saying, Kenny, when do you do the podcast? They watch all our podcasts, word for word. A lot of people agree with what you say. Sometimes they say that you're rubbing in a bit. I said, look, I think a family member said to me, Lee, you're right. We know you're right, but do we have to always tell them you're right? And I said, well, yeah, because you lot are criticising us. So, you know, there's a lot of people who watch our shows who love it, and I love the fact there's an alternative, because we're virtually saying what they're thinking. Now, these are people at the ground who've told me that what we discuss in the podcast and what you do in your shows, you're saying what they're thinking, and I think you've given them people a voice. Like, you know, 2 weeks ago at Chelsea, people saying, get away from the gun and all that. But look, I think, you know, Ed, you've been with me this last week. We've had a, like, you know, like I said, very stressful and upsetting time. And I just want to dedicate this video to someone very special. And without them, I wouldn't be supporting this club, because it was them who pushed me to be a Gooner. And it's because of them I am where I am. And this win was for someone very, very special. You know what I'm talking about. Very, very special. And without them, no Gooner. And that goes for all my family members. Arsenal is in our hearts because of one person. And all I can say is that look up the sky and say, you know, this one's for you.
Yeah, come on. Shining up there with Claude and his mum. Yeah. Listen, Kenny, thanks very much, man. We're going to do player ratings a bit later. You go and get yourself.
Right. I better get to Barnet, get a bottle of water, and do a bit of shopping then. You know what I mean?
Nice one, man.
I might be in a shop. I'll get home and I'll use my stand to do the player ratings. Love you loads, Lee.
Top man, love you, Kenny. Take care.
And by the way, I want to say that I don't stutter, I don't mutter. I just stuttered when I said that. I'll see you later, Lee.
Nice
love you loads, and I love you all the comments below. See you later.